Welcome to week 2 of OC-Tober. It's almost the end of November. Who cares? Yeah, this takes a while, at least for me. I know it's supposed to be like a 30-day challenge or whatever, and I'm technically not even doing 30 days, but I don't care. I'm still doing this at the very least, but even if I were to quit, I feel like I wouldn't care that much, but I do want to finish this. So here is week 2, very late. I honestly don't have much to say, because with commentary, I feel like I either have way too much to say, and it gets too long to fit in the video, or I can summarize it in like one sentence, and then I have nothing else to say. And for these speed paints, it's kind of a one-sentence deal, so I'm probably just gonna go on rambles. Either about the series itself, the OCs that I'm drawing, or just stuff I've been watching lately. So prepare to hear a lot about Sonic, probably. But yeah, for these first 5 speed paints, the theme is marketable plushie. I based it off the U2's plushie because I didn't want to have to draw the faces. And U2's plushies typically have the closed eyes. So that's kind of about it. I tried to translate the designs into plushie form, which means simplifying, but honestly, my OCs have a lot of detail, so I just kind of skipped out on some elements and then added some elements. So they do look very detailed, but some elements are totally missing. Which is fine. It's for a plushie. If plushies are too overcomplicated, then they tend not to look good. As for my rambles, Sonic. For next week's, for week 3's video, one of the listings of the 2 listings, don't remember what the second one is, but one of the listing is Sonic OCs. And I was pretty in between either just doing Sonic Chow OCs based off of my OCs, or just making my OCs into Sonic OCs with Chows. But I think that at least for this challenge, I'm just gonna do the Chows, and then I'm gonna have a whole separate video dedicated to making my OCs into Sonic OCs. Because doing 5 designs just for a video like this is very difficult, and I already have so many other prompts that I have dedicated 5 different designs for. And also just having it in a separate video allows me to put more time and effort into it rather than doing a challenge video like this. And I do want to put a lot of focus into the Chow design for now, and then I'll do the Sonic ones later. I don't want to draw a raven because Loki would have to be a raven, and I suck at drawing birds. And I don't even know what all the OCs would translate into. I literally only know 3. Brady would be a fox, not a 2-tailed fox, just a regular fox. Ari would, of course, be a dragon or something dragon-like. And then, as I said, Loki would be a raven, which, not excited to draw, but who knows, maybe it'll turn out to be the best one, I'm not sure. But like, what would Kenta and Sandy be? Because Sandy doesn't have an animal form unlike all the others, and Kenta does technically have a human form, but when she's in it, she's like really fast, so you can't actually see it. So I literally have no design for that. She's supposed to be like a phoenix-like creature, but I don't want to have to draw another bird. My main thoughts was maybe like she would be a cat because her original design back in the day, she was originally going to be a white cat, and then I could just give her angelic features. Then she would just kind of be Honey the cat, which I'm fine with, but like, I don't know if I want something else, because I might just purely make her an angel, but I don't know how that would translate into the Sonic design, because Sonics are animals. Unless they're human, but I'm not just gonna make her a human. And Sandy has no animal form, so I don't know what he would be. I was thinking like maybe a wolf, but I'm not even sure if that really fits him. But that's also kind of what I like about putting my OCs into different AUs, is that I think it's a really good way to like figure out certain things about your OCs that you never really would have thought about. Like, what animal would they be? Who knows? Would they be a villain, a hero, or neutral in a different AU? For instance, in the future, in the 4th week prompt of this, I have horror. So I had to consider, would my characters be the horror or would they be the one going through horror? And for some of them, they ended up being the horror. For instance, Kenta, I kind of went with the idea of her being an eldritch horror because she kind of is. She looks human, but she's not quite human, but she's not quite anything. So I really decided to go with that theme. Meanwhile, someone like Sandy would most likely kind of be in a zombie apocalypse situation, and he would most likely be a fighter. But he's also a pacifist, so I have to take that into mind whenever I'm doing anything like that. So Sandy usually goes into the hero category, but he does not like fighting. So that's always an interesting juxtaposition. And other things like, what if they're in Soul Eater? Would they be a Meister or would they be a weapon? I know for sure that Sandy would be a Meister because he is the only one out of the core group that constantly uses weapons. But as for the others, I'm not sure. I would have to think about it and I would have to see what fits. And I would also have to see who pairs with who or if they don't pair at all. So I think that that's just really good, at least practice, and it's also just really fun to put your characters in other AUs. Like for FNAF, I don't know how the hell I would do that, because in FNAF, I would have to create a whole new villain than the one I currently have. Because the one I currently have, motives don't line up similarly enough to what William Afton does. And even if I were to find a motive, it would cause massive spoilers, which I'm not ready to reveal. I want to reveal that when the actual series comes out. And yes, I'm planning a series, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, I'm very excited about it. Just unfortunately because I haven't animated anything. I don't know, my expectations, I want to make a fully animated action series. And I don't animate. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do that, man. For now, I'm just thinking that right now I'm just gonna build up stuff until I'm ready for that. Obviously, I have to kind of have the whole thing like written out, scripts and stuff like that. So that's already gonna take like a while, probably like a couple years. But like, how am I gonna animate it? For now, I'm thinking like, oh, I'll probably make like 3D models, so at least I don't have to worry about like proportions and angles. That way I could just use the 3D models and draw over it. But I have to make 3D models. I don't know how to make stylized 3D models. I'm gonna have to learn Blender. And then it's also like, what's the world building gonna be like? The most world building I have right now is that there's constant wars around. But the original idea for this series was that they were in like a candy type world. Don't ask me why, I just really wanted a cute aesthetic. So now I'm like, do I go with my older idea? No, because that honestly wouldn't fit and it would be very out of the ordinary. But I still kind of want references to it. So right now I'm kind of thinking, oh, would the outside world be like a pastel warscape? But then also the school that they're in is supposed to be a very different design from all the other things in the world. It's supposed to be more like grassy, naturey, everything's made of stone, but it's like big buildings, and like, I don't know what to do with that. So I'm probably gonna have a whole video eventually in the future dedicated to just world building and world design, so I can finally figure that out. And I am very excited about that. A lot of videos in the future are just going to be dedicated to like things like that. That way I could go more into depth instead of just having videos kind of like this, which are compilations, which I do like these kind of videos, but sometimes it's just nice to go fully in depth on one idea. Like in the future, if I want to, and maybe I will, depends on how Blender ends up working out, maybe I'll make a video of me creating all the 3D designs. Maybe I'll make a video on me actually designing side characters and actually designing the fucking villain, because he still doesn't have a character design. And that's kind of important, man. He's gonna be in it like a decent amount. Oh my god, talking. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I have no idea how the actual world is even gonna look like, and that's just kind of fascinating. Like, I have to figure out all of that, which is gonna take a while, and then I'm gonna animate it? What? How does one animate? I don't even know how to do a turnaround, man. That's more complicated than anything. I have to find out the basics of animation, and then I'm trying to do a whole animated action series all by myself. And then I have to hire voice actors, and then I have to figure out how to do lip sync over the animation I've already done, because I don't want to hire voice actors and then not be able to do the animation. I want to do the animation first and then hire the voice actors, so that way I won't have to so that way I'll already have animation prepared, knowing that I'm gonna actually do this series. Because if I hire the voice actors and then I never do this series, then like I've not wasted the voice actors' time, but like kinda, I don't know. I've made promises I can't keep, and like I just feel even worse just adding other people to this project without like anything set in stone, at least to me personally. So I'm like, but yeah, that's kind of what my thought process is at the time. Right now, I'm just having fun exploring the characters, which highly recommend. It's very fun. And I'm not focusing too much on the animation process, but I'm also just like, I'm gonna have to learn a lot, man. But even when I do start the animation process, which hopefully I will do eventually, I do kind of want to keep this mindset of like, I could do other things too. It doesn't have to be that set in stone, which I think is kind of cool. You could do with your own OCs, because you kind of have full control, full creative control over your OCs, and that's like kind of amazing. I can do stuff like this, and that's like, that's probably one of my favorite parts about OCs. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed these speed paints, and just enjoy my characters now and in the future. Bye!